Well, hello there, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're safe and well. In this video, I'm going to be building a multi-purpose back box. So, let's roll those titles. Well, if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I use a few different methods of pellet stopping for different purposes. I've got my my little backstop box that I've used indoors for when I use the chrono. You might have seen me use that. I did a video on producing this, which was a sort of a movable backstop for shooting in the garden. It was easy to stick targets on and move it at different ranges in the garden. And then most recently came up with these pellet holders to go in my permanent backstore in the garden. So I thought I've got three different things here that I'm using. Wouldn't it be good if I could combine all three into one thing? So instead of having like three separate bits lying about, I just had one box that I could use. And lo and behold, I was looking through some videos on YouTube, different airgun channels, as you do, and a chap on an American airgun channel had this box that he'd bought. Somebody had built it. He'd seen it in his local gun dealer and decided to buy it. And when I saw it, I thought, oh, that's a solution to my problems, and I can build one of those quite easily. So that's what we're going to do in this video. So what it is basically is a combination between this box and this box that allows these things to slide in the front and hold your targets. So I've done my little diagrams and worked out my cutting sheet. I went to the DIY store the other day with the intention of buying some 18mm plywood, because I thought, oh, that's nice and substantial, that'll do the job. But I couldn't buy a sheet of 18mm ply from anywhere. So anyway, I eventually got a sheet of 12mm. I've got a little bit of scrap 18mm in the workshop that we can use for the back side and possibly for the two sides where I've got a sort of cut a channel, so I need it a bit thicker. So hopefully we'll have enough of that, and then I've got a sheet of 12mm to do the rest of it. So let's head over to the workshop and start cutting up the wood, shall we? Right, my other design then is drawn up to accommodate this spare clipboard that I've got left over from the previous project. If you remember, I bought a couple of clipboards cheap on eBay. It's a bit of hardboard with a clip on the top. So I was using the dimensions of the clipboard. But as I mentioned, I've got a little bit of 18mm that I need. It's actually 5mm wider than the dimensions that I drew on my plan. So we will make it 5mm wider, that's no problem. But it's not long enough. I needed it 320 mil each side, so I needed 640 to do the two sides, and this is just over 600. So what we'll end up doing is chopping a bit off of the clipboard, making it a little bit not so tall, which is probably, when you see the finished article, is not going to make any difference either. So we'll change the dimensions slightly, but at least I've got enough board for both sides, and then the rest of it will be made from the 12mm sheet that I bought. So let's get this all drawn up and cut to size. Right, we've got the sides and the top and the bottom cut, so time to glue these together, and then we'll cut the back to size once these are in place. Well, I found a couple of old cans of spray paint, matte black spray paint. Probably a little bit too old. This, if you saw from the footage, they exploded a little bit and went everywhere. Also found an old cupboard handle, kitchen door handle. So I'm going to put that on the top as well for carrying it around. One thing I haven't got any rubber feet to screw on the bottom, but I've got some self-adhesive spongy rubber stuff, so I can cut out some feet for now until I can buy some that I'm going to screw in. So we're nearly there, just a little bit of finishing left really. So that's the hole cut in the clipboard then. I've left a 5mm edge all the way round so that there's a bit of an overlap with the target so it doesn't fall inside. And if you notice as well, what I've done, that always helps, is put little dots on the corners where the target goes to help you line the target up. So we're nearly there. So I've cut off some squares of sticky back rubber. So we're going to stick on some temporary rubber feet on the base for when we use it inside so we don't scratch the table. Last one. Upside down. Right, some rubber feet. Slide the clipboard in. And there we have it. Our universal back box. Couple of bits to do yet. We need to put some stuff in there so that catches the pellets, and just cover that next. Okay, final step then is to stuff the box with some packing that is going to stop pellets from passing through the box. Now, with my little backstop box that I used indoors, I've had very good success with stuffing that with a couple of t-shirts, but I've decided what to do with this. I've got a couple of old pairs of jeans, so what I've done is I've put the main part of the jeans and in the back, and I've cut up the legs in strips. We're going to make it a lot easier to empty the box out and get the lead out. Probably need a couple of t-shirts to fill it in, and then to hold that in place I'm going to use a bit of cardboard, and I'll show you how that works. We've just cut a bit of cardboard to the right size from the box, and what we'll do is you just wedge that in there, and you see that's going to hold all the stuff in place. And then to finish off with, we just slide our target holder back. So in effect, what you can do is, if you want to shoot a target, you can use the target holder. If you just need the plain backstop for, say, using your chronograph, then you've got the cardboard, and you can just replace that cardboard in there as necessary. So now we've got that done, just need to check it out. Now, one of the things that I will do, I mean, we ended up on the back using the 12mm thickness when I was planning to use 18mm, but I didn't have enough 18mm ply. Now what I can do is I can put a double thickness on that, but what I want to check is to actually see whether a pellet will go through a sheet of 12mm ply at the sort of distances we're going to be shooting at. So I'm going to do a test at, say, 10 meters and 20 meters, or 10 yards, 20 yards, and see how a pellet fares against this this plywood. Right, it's not the ideal day for shooting. It's blowing a hoolie, and it's probably going to rain in a bit, but all we're going to do is I just want to dot the I's and cross the T's and do a safety check on this pellet trap. So I've got a scrap of 12mm ply on the bench in front of me at 5 yards, and I'm basically going to be shooting at it with some exact Diablo pellets. I've got the 8.44 grain pellets, and I thought, just to belt and braces, I'll use the heavies, 10.34. We're going to see whether a 12mm sheet of hardwood ply will stop the pellet on its own. So I'm going to reposition the camera so that you can see the pellet strikes, and then we'll see what happens. Well, you can see there both pellets went cleanly through and ripped the back off. So obviously just using the 12mm ply in the back of my pellet catcher box is not going to be sufficient. So what I'm going to do now is just check it with the rags that I've put in there, and we'll do the same thing again, shoot 2 pellets in, and then take the rags out and check to make sure that they haven't got all the way through back through to the ply. Right, I'm just going to have to hold the camera for this bit to try and get the right angle. So we're going to take the cardboard out, and let's take all of the stuff out. Oh, there's one of the pellets there, look, hasn't even gone through. So let's have a look at the back of the board, and yeah, look, no sign of any pellets. It's actually pellets actually sitting on that, was actually one of the pellets was sitting on that pocket there. So that looks that's okay. I think to belt and braces, I think what I might do is if I can get a bit of 2mm steel or something to put in there, or just put another thickness of 12mm ply just for belt and braces, that'll be cool. But as it is, it looks fairly safe. Before we continue, I'm going to take a quick detour and pop back in the shed. Bear with me, it'll be worth it. Just back down in the shed then to have a look at bench rests. Now, I'm doing a bit more shooting from the bench, and with things like pellet testing, I really need to sort of make sure that my rests are as good as they possibly can be. So obviously the results that I get are more accurate for the pellet tests. Now, what I have been using, as you'll probably see from the videos, mostly is this rice-filled bag, and when that isn't giving me the height that I need, I've got like a separate bag that goes underneath. but to be honest, it does sort of slide around a bit and it's a bit saggy, and it doesn't give you the most secure platform in which to shoot as accurately as possible. I mean, I've got this rest here, but to be honest, although the front is nice and secure, you know, trying to get your shoulder in the rifle at the back there when you're on this, it's a bit of a nightmare. It's the most uncomfortable and unnatural way to shoot. So it just, I mean, I've tried it once, and once was enough, to be honest. So that's that. I bought one of these Rockstad stands because it seemed like a good idea at the time. It was worth a try, but I've never really got on with this, to be honest. I mean, mostly the way that I use it is I take the old the V bit off, and that just gives me the straight thread, and that fits in the bottom of my chrono. So you will have seen, you know, when I've done some chrono testing inside, that my chrono's mounted on there. So I've been looking for something, but you know, everything is really expensive when you look at rifle rests. For some reason, stuff's really expensive. The Caldwell's got some nice rests, but they are a lot of money. And as you know, I'm Mr. Bargain Basement, so I'm always looking for a good deal. And so I recently saw what's in this box from Vector Air that I suppose has just come on the market, because I haven't seen it for a while. I haven't seen it before when I've been on their website. Doesn't look like anybody else sells this, and this looks like, I mean, I don't know if it's made in the same factory as the Caldwell rests, but it does look very similar. And it was in their payday deals, so I got it a bit cheaper, which covered the postage. So let's have a look at this, shall we? So let's have a look what's in this box, shall we? Right. Well, there's no instructions or anything by the looks of it. So we've got an adjustable plate. It's obviously like the adjustable part of the rest. We've got the bag that fits on the top with Velcro tabs. Oh, no. And this plastic washer. And it feels like this is full up with those little plastic balls, but I guess there is a filler spout there, so if you wanted to change that for something like sand or whatever, but that seems fairly firm, so we put those to one side. And then the main part, the base. Now, if you've seen one of those Caldwell rests, the green ones, this might be a little bit familiar, this base, although that's being said, their one doesn't have these adjustable feet on. It's got the spiked feet, so you can make adjustments to get it level, which is quite neat. Let's get that box out of the way. Chuck that down there. And this, what we've got here is we've got a channel, so I'm assuming when this screws in, I'm assuming that screws in there and fits in that channel. So let's stick that in there, do that up. Right, so obviously then you loosen off that, make your adjustments, and then screw that in to make it solid. So I'm assuming that that's the back edge. That goes to the front, and then the bag sits on there. So that looks like it will do the job. So we'll have to give that a go the next time I get the shooting table out to do some pellet testing or target shooting. We'll give this a go and see how we get on with it. Well, it's still not the ideal shooting day, but we've got to finish off this video. So I've got my shooting table out. Got the new Apollo steel bench rest that I showed you on the front of the rifle, supporting the front of the rifle. So we'll have a go with that. And I've set my new ultimate pellet trap box up at 25 yards with a video up there. Just going to have a shoot at it and see how quiet it is, whether it's quiet at all, and make sure it doesn't get knocked off the table and stuff like that. Not expecting great things on accuracy in this wind. It is very, very windy, but needs must. So let's put some shots down the range and see what happens, shall we? See, I've got the trusty Air Arms S400 out again, and I'm shooting JSB Diablo Exacts 8.44 grain. Let's adjust that. Shooting traditional bullseye targets for a change. Don't often do that, do we? Actually, sounds quite quiet. One more. Oh, not a bad grip in the wind. Let's have a 2 or 3 shots at the centre target, shall we? Let's make an adjustment from the thing. I must say this front rest is very easy. Oh, just as I do that, the wind blows the target up. It's very easy to adjust, and it's very stable. You don't feel like it's gonna, you know, once you're on target, you don't feel like it's gonna move. Well, first shot was bang on. Oh, that one got taken by the wind. Last one, I think. Last one. Yep. Good brute 3 shots. Well, so far, first go with this rest. I'm very impressed with this. It's much nicer than shooting with that bag. So that was good news. That's good news. And this looks like the box is going to work. So let's put everything away and wrap this one up, shall we? So there we go then, my ultimate pellet trap. Nice little project, didn't take too long to knock up in the workshop, as you can see. And the nice thing about this is, because it's based on a clipboard, as well as fitting the 17 centimetre targets, Not bad groupings, by the way. The S400 didn't let me down, always makes me look good. But also I can fit my my focus gauge, or my USAF resolution chart for setting my parallax focus range. Can fit that in there. And also, if I have a little bit of if I make an adjustment, get another clipboard and I make an adjustment, you can bung it on its side, and we can have a play with oh, you can't, let's focus in on that. Oh, there we go. Oh. Just when you want to record a bit and get a target in focus, the sun comes out and mucks around with your white balance. But here we go. Look, Airgun Forums A4 size 20-yard bench rest target. So I'm planning on having a play with doing a bit of bench rest in the garden in the wind, and that fits nicely on this pellet holder as well. So happy days. So that's all I've got for you on this video. I know it didn't really involve much shooting, stuck a little bit of shooting at the end, but it's nice to get crafty now and again. And to be honest, the weather's not been great to do shooting anyway, so it just seemed like an ideal time to fit this one in. So thanks for watching, hope you found that interesting, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.